The Bible is the most widely read book in human history, but buried inside its pages are descriptions of creatures that most scholars quietly set aside, labeled as myth, metaphor, or ancient imagination. They weren't. What if some of those monsters were real? Not symbolic, not poetic. Real animals, witnessed by real people, recorded before science had a language to name them? Today, we're going back to the text and matching what's written to what paleontology, zoology, and ancient history have confirmed. 5 monsters from the Bible. 5 creatures that actually existed. Number 20. The saber-toothed cat. Picture: the biggest cat you have ever seen. Now give it 2 teeth as long as kitchen knives. That was Smilodon. Like the saber-toothed cat. It lived across North and South America for over 2 million years. It weighed as much as a lion. Its teeth could reach 11 inches long. Scientists say it went extinct about 10,000 years ago. Climate changed, prey disappeared, the giant cat followed. But here's the strange part. Deep in South America, local tribes still talk about a giant spotted cat. They call it the Marcelo, or the jungle devil. It is bigger than any jaguar. It has unusual teeth, long ones that stick out even when its mouth is closed. In 1975, a hunter in Venezuela described killing something that matched. The body was never examined by scientists. The Amazon is enormous. Much of it has never been explored. Could a small group of saber-toothed cats have survived in the deepest parts? No one has proven it. Yeah, but no one has fully ruled it out either. Number 19. The American lion. The American lion was not like the lions you see today in Africa. It was bigger, much bigger. Scientists say it was 25% larger than a modern African lion. It stood almost 4 feet tall at the shoulder. It weighed over 500 pounds. It hunted horses, bison, and young mammoths. It disappeared about 11,000 years ago, the same time the mammoths vanished, the same time the climate shifted. But here is the wild part. In the mountains of Canada and the American Northwest, people still report seeing enormous cats. Not mountain lions, something bigger, something with a different shape. Indigenous communities in British Columbia have stories going back centuries. A giant cat that hunts in the high snow, one that leaves tracks too large for any known species. No body has ever been found. No clear photograph exists, but the mountains are vast, and some valleys have never seen a human footstep. Number 18. The Caspian tiger. The Caspian tiger was one of the largest tigers that ever lived. It roamed across Iran, Iraq, Turkey, and Central Asia for thousands of years. It was massive, powerful, built for cold winters and dense forests. Then people moved in. Forests were cut, prey was hunted. By the 1970s, scientists declared it gone forever. But here's the surprising part. In 2019, rangers in the mountains of Turkey reported tracks. Big ones, too big for any wolf or bear. The shape was clearly a cat. In Iran, local villagers near the Caspian Sea still report sightings. They describe something large, moving through the reed beds at night. A 2003 genetic study found that the Caspian tiger and the Siberian tiger are almost identical. Almost the same animal. So, if the Siberian tiger survived, could a hidden population of Caspian tigers have survived too? Scientists are now working to reintroduce tigers to Central Asia. Maybe they are bringing back something that never fully left. Number 17. The ivory-billed woodpecker. This was the largest woodpecker in North America. It had a bright white bill, a blazing red crest, a wingspan of 30 inches. People called it the Lord God bird, because when you saw it, that is what you said. Scientists declared it extinct in the 1940s. Logging destroyed its habitat. The forests it needed were gone. But then something happened. In 2004, a man kayaking in Arkansas saw one. He was sure. Scientists rushed to the area. They recorded sounds. They found possible footage on a camera trap. The scientific world exploded. Was it really alive? The debate never fully ended. Some said yes, others said no. In 2022, the US government officially declared it extinct again, but reports kept coming. Bird watchers in Louisiana, fishermen in Florida swamps, all describing the same giant woodpecker with the white bill. The forests of the deep American South are still thick and wild. Maybe the Lord God bird is still out there, hiding, surviving, refusing to disappear. Number 16. Haast's eagle. Imagine an eagle so large it hunted animals the size of horses. That was Haast's eagle from New Zealand. It had a wingspan of up to 10 feet. Its talons were as large as a tiger's claws. It hunted the giant moa bird, which weighed over 500 pounds. It attacked from above at 50 miles per hour. Scientists say it went extinct around 1400 AD. When humans arrived in New Zealand, they hunted the moa to extinction. Without prey, the eagle disappeared too. But here's the strange part. The Maori people of New Zealand have legends about a giant bird called the hokioi. They describe it as enormous, black and red feathers, a piercing cry, a hunter of large animal. These stories match Haast's eagle perfectly. In remote mountain valleys of New Zealand's South Island, hikers still occasionally report seeing something huge gliding above the tree line. Could a few have survived in the most isolated peaks? The mountains there are wild, and some places have never been fully searched. Number 15. The dodo. Everyone knows the dodo, the fat, flightless bird from the island of Mauritius. Thus, it had no fear of humans because it had no natural predators. So when sailors arrived, it walked right up to them. That was its mistake. By 1662, it was gone, hunted to extinction in less than 100 years. But here's the wild part. Mauritius has thick forests in its mountain interior, areas that early sailors never reached. Local legends speak of a large, slow bird still seen deep in those forests as recently as the 1800s. In 2022, scientists announced they had recovered near-complete dodo DNA. There is now a serious project to bring it back, using its closest living relative, the Nicobar pigeon. But what if they don't need to bring it back? What if somewhere in those mountain forests something survived? No confirmed sighting exists, but the search has never truly been completed either. Number 14, the Carolina parakeet. The only parrot that ever lived wild in North America. It was bright green and yellow. It traveled in massive flocks. Its call was so loud it could be heard from miles away. Then, it was gone. The last confirmed one died in 1918, at the same Cincinnati Zoo, where the last passenger pigeon died 4 years earlier. Farmers killed them by the thousands. They ate crops. They were considered pests. But here's the strange part. Throughout the 1920s and 1930s, birdwatchers kept reporting flocks of bright green parakeets in the swamps of Florida and South Carolina. These were not escaped pets. They matched the Carolina parakeet exactly. Some scientists believe a small population may have survived in the most remote river swamps of the American Southeast. No confirmed evidence exists today, but those swamps are enormous, and many remain unexplored. The last parrot of North America may not have given up that easily. Number 13. The megalodon. The megalodon was the largest shark that ever lived. Its teeth were the size of a human hand. It could grow up to 60 feet long. Its jaw was wide enough to swallow a small car whole. It hunted whales. Scientists say it went extinct about 3.6 million years ago, but people refused to let this one go. In 1875, a research ship called HMS Challenger pulled megalodon teeth from the ocean floor. Some of those teeth were only 10,000 years old. That is not 3.6 million. That is almost yesterday in geological time. Deep-sea fishermen still report massive shadows following their boats, shapes too large for any known shark. Here is the terrifying part. We have only explored about 20% of the world's oceans. The deep ocean goes down 36,000 feet in some places. It is dark, cold, and completely unknown. A 60-foot shark could be living down there right now, and we would have absolutely no idea. Number 12. The plesiosaur. Picture a sea turtle. Now stretch its neck like a snake. Now make it 55 feet long. That was a plesiosaur. These giant reptiles ruled the ocean at the same time as the dinosaurs. They had 4 powerful flippers. They were built to chase, built to kill. 65 million years ago, an asteroid hit Earth. The dinosaurs died. Scientists say plesiosaurs died too, but the reports never stopped. Over 300 lakes around the world have stories of a long-necked creature rising from the water. The most famous is Loch Ness in Scotland. In 2006, a dead creature washed up on a beach in Australia. Scientists who examined photos said the neck structure matched a plesiosaur more than any known living animal. Could a population have survived in the deepest parts of the ocean, moving into lakes through underground river systems? Scientists say it is impossible, but 300 lakes tell the same story, and the ocean still holds its secrets. Number 11. The Leviathan. The Leviathan was a whale, but not like any whale alive today. It had teeth, real teeth, each one the size of a large banana. It was as long as a sperm whale, but instead of filtering krill, it hunted other whales. It lived about 12 million years ago. It went extinct when ocean temperatures changed and its prey disappeared. But here's the wild part. The sperm whale alive today has a very similar body shape, same size, same head structure. Scientists believe they may be distant cousins. In the 1800s, whaling ships reported encounters with massive aggressive whales, ones that attacked ships. The most famous was the Essex, sunk in 1820 by a sperm whale's repeated ramming. But some sailors described these attacking whales as having visible teeth on both jaws. Sperm whales only have teeth on the lower jaw. So what were those sailors actually seeing? Number 10. The giant oarfish. The giant oarfish is not fully extinct, but what people report seeing is far bigger than anything science has officially recorded. The largest confirmed oarfish was 36 feet long, but Japanese fishermen have reported seeing ones 3 times that size. In ancient times, these fish inspired sea serpent legends across every culture. Norway, Japan, Scotland, the Caribbean, all the same story. A massive snake-like creature rising from the deep. Here's the important part. Oarfish live at depths of 3,000 feet. They only come to the surface when sick or dying. We have almost no footage of them alive in their natural habitat. So if a species of truly massive oarfish exists at extreme depths, we would have almost no way of knowing. The sea serpent of ancient legend might not be a legend at all. It might just be an animal we have not officially named yet. Number 9. Gigantopithecus. Long before humans built cities, a giant ape walked through the forests of Asia. Its name was Gigantopithecus. It stood almost 10 feet tall. It weighed as much as 3 large men. Think of an orangutan. Now, triple it. Scientists say it died out 300,000 years ago. The forests shrank. Food became scarce. The giant disappeared, but the stories never stopped. In China, people speak of the Yeren, the wild man of the forest, tall, hairy, walking on 2 legs. In the Himalayas, they call it the Yeti. In North America, they call it Bigfoot. These stories come from completely different cultures, different continents, different centuries, but the description is always the same. Very tall, very hairy, walks upright, leaves enormous footprints. In 1967, a film was taken in Northern California. Scientists still debate whether it shows a real unknown primate or a man in a suit. What if all these stories are old memories? Memories of a giant that did not fully disappear. Number 8. The Thylacoleo Australia's marsupial lion. It was not a true lion, but it was just as deadly. It had the strongest bite of any mammal that ever lived. It was stronger than a modern lion, stronger than a hyena. Its teeth were designed not to tear, but to slice, like scissors made of bone. Scientists say it went extinct about 30,000 years ago, but Aboriginal rock art tells a different story. Some cave paintings in Australia clearly show the Thylacoleo, detailed drawings, accurate ones. But some of these paintings are estimated to be only a few thousand years old. That means Aboriginal people may have seen this animal alive long after science says it died, and the sightings did not stop there. In 1871, a settler in Western Australia described an attack by a large, unknown cat-like animal. The description matched Thylacoleo exactly. Powerful jaws, short legs, muscular body. Australia still has vast empty wilderness. The outback alone could hide almost anything. But number 7, Moklembembe. Deep in the Congo jungle, people tell a terrifying story. They speak of a creature called Moklembembe. Its name means the one who stops rivers. It is huge, long neck, long whip-like tail, smooth brownish skin, 4 strong legs with claws, a small lizard-like head with a strange bump on top. They say it looks exactly like a long-necked dinosaur. Dinosaurs were supposed to die 65 million years ago, but explorer William Gibbons went to the Congo and spoke with multiple tribes separately, without them talking to each other. All of them described the exact same animal. In 1959, one tribe said they killed one. It had attacked a dam they built on the river. It took days to cut the body apart because it was so enormous. The Congo Basin is one of the least explored places on Earth, but it covers over 1.3 million square miles. Much of it has never been walked by an outsider. If a dinosaur survived anywhere on Earth, it would be there. Number 6, the giant ground sloth. Imagine a sloth the size of an elephant. That was Megatherium, the giant ground sloth. It stood over 10 feet tall. It had massive curved claws that could rip through thick wood. Its claws were so large it could not walk flat. It walked on its fists like knuckles. Scientists say it went extinct 10,000 years ago. Humans hunted it in South America until it was gone. But local tribes deep in the Amazon still report something strange. They describe a massive, slow creature, covered in thick fur, with claws that curve backward, and a strange mark on its belly. That last detail is important. Modern sloths have scent glands in exactly that location. Had backward claws, enormous body, belly mark, slow movement, thick fur, every detail matches Megatherium. The Amazon is enormous. The deepest parts have never been explored. Food is abundant. The climate is perfect for a large plant eater. What if the giant ground sloth is still out there, moving slowly through the dark jungle where no camera has ever reached? Number 5. The thylacine. The Tasmanian tiger. Stripes like a tiger, a pouch like a kangaroo, jaws that could open almost 90 degrees. It lived across Australia and Tasmania for thousands of years. Farmers called it a sheep killer. From 1888 to 1909, the government paid hunters for every dead one. More than 2,000 were killed. The last known one died alone in a zoo in 1936, left outside in harsh weather. Its body was lost in storage for decades. Scientists declared it officially extinct in the 1980s. But then the reports started coming. Thousands of people across Australia and Tasmania claim to have seen one. Camera traps have been set up across the wilderness. In 2022, scientists recovered full DNA from a 130-year-old specimen and began a serious de-extinction project. But here's what many people miss. Tasmania still has enormous stretches of unexplored wilderness. Dense rainforests, deep valleys, places where a small, shy animal could survive completely unseen. Maybe the Tasmanian tiger does not need to be brought back. Maybe it never fully left. Number 4, the titanoboa, the largest snake that ever lived, up to 48 feet long, as thick as a tree trunk, heavy enough to crush a small car. It lived right after the dinosaurs disappeared, about 60 million years ago, when scientists say it went extinct when the climate cooled. But stories from the Amazon refuse to die. Fishermen, soldiers, indigenous tribes, all report the same thing. Snakes thick as tree trunks near the border of Colombia and Brazil, creatures large enough to flip a fishing boat. Pilots flying low over deep river systems have reported enormous shapes moving beneath the water surface. Here's the terrifying part. More than 90% of the Amazon has never been fully explored. There are swamps stretching for hundreds of miles under thick, unbroken forest. The rivers there are dark and deep. The green anaconda alive today can reach 30 feet. Scientists once said anything bigger was impossible. Then they found Anaconda verde in 2024, a new species, already longer than any recorded anaconda. So the Amazon still has surprises. No, maybe the biggest one is still waiting to be found. Number 3, the short-faced bear, the largest land predator that ever walked North America. Arctidus, the short-faced bear. It stood 6 feet tall on all 4 legs. When it rose on its hind legs, it was 12 feet tall. It weighed over 2,000 pounds. It could run at 40 miles per hour. Nothing alive today compares to it. Scientists say it went extinct 11,000 years ago. The same mass extinction that took the mammoths. The same climate shift. The same disappearing prey. But Native American tribes across North America have stories of a giant bear, one much larger than any grizzly, one that walks sometimes on 2 legs, one that is not afraid of anything. In 1967, a grizzly bear in Glacier National Park killed 2 people in one night. Rangers who examined the damage said the strength required was beyond what any known grizzly should possess. The bear was never fully explained. In remote parts of Alaska and northern Canada, hunters still report tracks too large for any known species. Could a small population of short-faced bears have survived in the most isolated wilderness on Earth? The Arctic and subarctic regions are enormous, largely unexplored, and very unforgiving to anyone who gets too close. Number 2, the woolly mammoth. It stood taller than a basketball hoop. It weighed more than 6 cars. It had tusks that curved like ancient swords. The woolly mammoth. Most disappeared 10,000 years ago, but a small group survived on Wrangel Island until just 4,000 years ago. That was while the Egyptians were already building pyramids. So here's the question. But if mammoths survived in one isolated place that long, could a few have survived even longer in the vast frozen wilderness of Siberia? Siberia covers over 5 million square miles. Much of it has never been searched. In the 1800s, local Siberian tribes spoke of a great hairy beast still alive in the deep tundra. They called it the mammoth. They said it lived underground to stay warm. No confirmed sighting exists today. But in 2024, a company called Colossal Biosciences announced they had successfully edited mammoth genes into elephant embryos. They plan to have a living mammoth-like animal walking the tundra by 2028. The mammoth may be gone, but its story is far from over. Number 1, the megalodon's cousin, the helicoprion. Most people have never heard of this one, and that is exactly why it is number 1. And the helicoprion was a shark-like fish with a spiral of teeth in its lower jaw, like a circular saw built into its mouth. Scientists called it a tooth whorl. No other animal in history had anything like it. It lived about 290 million years ago, long before the dinosaurs. It was enormous, possibly up to 25 feet long. Scientists say it went extinct 250 million years ago. But here's what makes this one different from everything else on this list. We only know it existed because of its teeth. Its spiral teeth fossilize easily, but its body was made of cartilage like a shark. Cartilage rarely fossilizes, so we have almost no idea what the rest of its body looked like, which means we have no idea what to look for. If a helicoprion or something like it survived in the deep ocean, we would not recognize it. Now, we would not know what we were seeing. It could have been photographed already. It could be in footage that exists right now, and every scientist who saw it would call it an unknown species and move on. The scariest extinctions are not the ones we know about. They are the ones we cannot even see. 20 animals, 5 categories, all of them declared gone forever. But forever is a long time. The ocean goes down 36,000 feet. The Amazon covers 2 million square miles. The Congo has never been fully explored. Siberia is larger than the entire United States. Science is powerful, but nature is bigger. Every few years, something appears that was not supposed to exist anymore. A fish, a bird, a mammal, all declared extinct, all found alive. They call them Lazarus species, animals that came back from the dead. So next time someone tells you an animal is gone forever, remember this. Gone is not the same as gone forever. Not in a world this big, not in an ocean this deep, not in a jungle this dark.